Hello everyone, my name is Sumit and I welcome all of you to BISP self-learning video series. In today's tutorial, I will be going to tell you how to add a new task to an entity by using plugins. So let me explain you the requirement, the business requirement, and then we'll see how to set up a plugin in Dynamics CRM to fulfill our requirement. So my scenario is that I would like that whenever a user creates a new record or new account in account entity, and if the account there is an account number field, and if this account number field is left blank by the user, it will assign a new task, it will add a new activity basically here, and the activity will be that the account name is blank. So here you can see there is one another activity for making a phone call, but in the same manner I would like to add a new activity here which will assign a task to a user that the account number field cannot be left blank. So this scenario I would like to achieve by using plugins in Dynamics CRM. So let's see how to create plugins in Dynamics CRM. So in order to create plugins, I'm going to open Visual Studio 2012 the and desktop version. So I'm going to use desktop version, and here I click on File, New Project, Windows, and select Class Library. And after Class Library, you can give a name to this class library. So let's change the name to this class library as BISP, or let's say account plugin. Account plugin, and OK. Then I expand Solution Explorer, and in Solution Explorer I am getting a class1.cs file. So I just rename this class file as plugin.cs, and yes, so this class file has been renamed as plugin.cs. Then I right click on this project, click on properties, right click on this project, properties, and here I need to click on signing in. So I click on signing, and here sign the assembly, new, and simple I write here plugin unprotect with username password, and OK. Close this, and then I right click on references because I need to add the references which was used to include the packages for plugins. So I right click on references and click on manage new get packages, then online, and here I write microsoft.xrm.sdk. So microsoft.xrm.sdk. I need to look for this SDK file and include or add a reference in this particular class file or in this plugin project. So let it open. Search again. Microsoft.xrm.sdk. So you can see here I have got the sdk.dll. So I install this sdk.dll, and then I install sdk.proxy, microsoft.crm.sdk.proxy. So I look for this proxy as well. So I got this proxy.dll. I install this proxy.dll file as well. Along with this, I need to add two more references. And what are those references? So I click on add reference, and here I add the references system.service model. So system.service model, serialization. These two files I need to include, runtime.serialization and system.service model, and OK. So these references has been added. All the references file has been added in this references under references folder. After that, I need to include these files here. I need to include so I write here using microsoft.xrm.sdk, and then I write here I need to inherit the iPlugin class. So I inherit the iPlugin. Now this iPlugin is an interface, and this iPlugin interface has got one function which we need to import in our class file, and that function. So how to inherit that function, how to include that function in our current class, plugin class. So right click on this plugin, iPlugin, select I implement interface and implement interfaces. So this is the execute function. This will we need to inherit, this we need to include in our current class. And now we need to write a code over here. So what should be the code? So first of all, I remove this code, the default code, and in order to save the time, I have already note down the code. So I just copy paste the code here, and then I will explain you what is the purpose of that particular code. So that's the code. Now in this code, as you can see here, first of all, I have started with iTracing service. This tracing service is to get the tracing services into. This is also an interface. iTracing service is also an interface. This is basically to get what type of services which we are using here. Then iPlugin execution context. Then we get what will be the target. If the target is an entity, so as I told you, the scenario is that account is an entity, and whenever I create a new account, or whenever a new record has been created within account entity, and if the account number field is blank, left blank, a new task has been assigned or new task will be added with that particular record that the account number field is blank. So same thing, I'm checking here that if it is an entity here, this is an entity, and then I check the entity. If the entity dot logical name is not equal to account, if it is not equal to account, it will return else. It will try and it will check if the entity dot attribute, because account number is an attribute or it's a field. So if the entity dot attribute contain account number equal false, if it is blank, then we'll be going to add a new task. So task is also an entity, so I define a new entity task here as a task, and the task subject will be account number is missing, and which regarding which object, regarding account new GUID context dot output parameters id dot to string. This is basically, if we do not specify the object ID here, then it will add the task with all the accounts. So we need to add the task only with the current record. So that's why I pass the parameter here as a means I pass the output parameter ID to this object as, and it will store as this particular regarding object ID. And then we add the description, account number is missing for the following account, please enter the account number. So once it is done, I create this service task. So the service task dot create service dot create task, and once the task is created, we can see the task over here within the newly created record. So that's the plugin. Now we'll see that how to register a plugin with our dynamic CRM. Now the plugin can be in any of the programming language. I have created a plugin by using .NET programming. If you are good in Java programming, you can create plugin by using Java code as well. But to register a plugin, we need a plugin registration tool. So first of all, I'm going to build this, and we'll see that if any error or not. So there are no errors. You can see 0 succeeded, 0 failed, because I have already built it earlier. So that's why I'm not getting any error. So once it is built successfully, now I'm going to register plugin. So let's see how to register plugin. So to register plugin, we need to get the SDK on to download. We need to download SDK on your system. So I have already downloaded SDK 2015, SDK, and within tools we have plugin registration tool. So I open it, right click on plugin registration tool and run as administrator. Click on yes. So that's the plugin registration tool. So I click on create new connection and click on login. So you need to provide your dynamic CRM credentials, login ID and password, so that this plugin registration tool can establish a connection between your application, your CRM, and with this plugin registration tool successfully, and then we will be able to register our plugin successfully with our CRM application. So you can see we have logged in successfully, and it will be loading all the files and all the services. If any plugin which has already been registered with current application, that those plugins will also get load over here, and we can remove those plugins, which the custom plugins which we have already registered. If there are any custom plugins, we can remove them, or we can add new plugins from here. So right now there are no custom plugins, all these are system plugins. So I'm going to register a new plugin. So register and register new assembly. Now to register new assembly, we need to specify the location of the assembly to analyze. So we need to give the location or the path of our current plugin or the current file, this plugin file. So this current plugin file is on yes, please send email, no project, and the name is, we can get the name from here, copy full path and see the path. Path is account plugin plugin.cs. So account plugin bin debug and account plugin.dll file. We need to look for a DLL file. Click on open, and there will be one OK button or register button. So you need to click on that register button and your plugin will be registered successfully. And once it is registered successfully, we'll get a message that the one assembly registered, 0 assembly ignored, and we'll get a confirmation message OK. And you can see the plugin has been registered over here now. Now the plugin has been registered, the plugin has been attached with our application, our CRM application, but we need to make sure, or we need to specify that at what time this plugin will execute, or what time this plugin will run in our application. So we need to add a new step here, register new step, and here I write a message whenever we create new account, second entity is none, and whenever a new record is created in account, then this plugin will execute. So simply click on register new step. This is okay, server synchronous post operation. After the record is created, then it will check if the account number is blank, then it will add a new task. So I click on register new step here. So the step has been registered successfully. Now we can get back to our CRM and I will refresh it, and then I will be going to create a new record within account entity, and we'll see that if the account number field is blank, whether the task has been added or not under activity section. So let it refresh and we'll check it. So let's create a new account here. So I'm going to create a new account. I click on account and I create a new account, BISP Solutions Bangalore, and I simply click on save. So the record is created, and now when I click on view records, it will take us to BISP Solutions Bangalore, and as you can see here, account number field is blank. And now when I click on activities, and when I click on all activities, you can see a new task has been added. The activity has been named as task, and the subject is account number is missing, activity is open, priority is normal. And if you expand it, if you click on it, you can see further details. Further details like we have entered here, description, account number is missing for the following account, please enter the account number. So if you expand it and if you see the details, you can see the further details of this. So account number is missing for the following account. So like this, how we can create a plugin in dynamic CRM for a dynamic CRM to add a new task to an entity whenever a field is blank. That's all in this tutorial. In this video, if you have any queries, you can visit our website www.bisptrainings.com. You can subscribe our YouTube channel for more videos on dynamic CRM. You can contact to us for customized training on dynamic CRM. Till then, have a nice day ahead. Goodbye.